Hi, it's Kathy, Crafty Chica. Check out this epic project. I finished a granny square blanket. I never thought I could do this, and I did it. So normally I speed crochet. I love making these yarn collage scarves, and I had so much yarn built up. I knew I wanted to do something big with it. So why not learn how to make a granny square blanket? My friend Christina taught me how to make granny squares, which I'm not exactly perfect at it, but that's why I'm doing this, right? So that I will learn, and then the next one I do will turn out better. So I became obsessed. I started this in the middle of December, and here it is, almost the end of February, and I finally finished. I started by making all of these different granny squares. Even when I traveled, I took them with me, and I still crocheted in the hotel rooms. This is what they look like before I added the edging on them. I picked a grayish type of color to go all around them, and I just started one by one adding all of the edging. If you go to craftychica.com, I have a whole post on how to make granny squares and how to do the first part of this. But for now, I'm just showing you the process. So after I put the edging on, I bought one of the blockers, and this is where you can spray the corners of your granny squares and you put them on these little pins, and like magic, after it all dries, they're all the same shape. Get that on there. Come on, there we go. Okay, so it took a couple hours for these to dry. I put a fan there blowing on it, so every 2 hours I would go in and switch them out to put on new ones. The whole process took about 3 days, and I worked continuously on it, but it was so worth it. Look at how sharp those corners are. After that, it was time to call my amigas. Sabrina, Tanya, and Christina came over to help me stitch all of the granny squares together to make the rows. So I made 9 rows with 8 squares each. So once they were all done, you thread the yarn through a yarn needle, just like we did when we stitched the squares together. I'll put a blog post together that explains it better, but you go through the back stitch on the front and the back. You line up the facing sides together, and then you put your needle through both of the back stitches all the way down, row by row. When it gets to the corners of each square, that's where I got a little nervous. I did weave in the ends because I watched a tutorial, but once my blanket was all put together, they started to come apart. So for now, I'm going to tie a little piece of ribbon in between each square. I haven't done that yet. But here's how it looks. Oh wait, you know what? A friend crocheted this. It's a corazon. So I put that in the middle and I stitched it on with embroidery thread. And here's the finished look of the blanket. It's about 97% done. I am going to do some cute little ties between all the squares. But thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any tips for my next granny square blanket, which will be much better than this because I learned so many lessons. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and see craftychica.com for even more crafty ideas. Thanks. Bye-bye.